It was only 2 years ago when I really started to notice it. As soon as I would wake up in the morning, there would be a brief moment of emptiness and clarity, of feeling nothingness. And then a thought would pop up, something like, you woke up late. And that would create a little bit of fear. Maybe I did wake up late. There would be another thought. Have you done your laundry? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But that would create more fear. And then there would be a third thought. Things I need to do today. There would be a fourth thought. Things I need to do tomorrow. Fifth thought would be things I planned to do for life. And after that, it would be not discernible to distinguish between each thought. All of these thoughts, hundreds and thousands of them, would mix together and turn into a fire hose, a crowd murmuring, buzzing behind my head. And that was how anxiety felt like to me. Now, as soon as I would go about my day and busy myself in other stuff like work, this would be in the back of the head. But there were some other times, like for example, during the evening when sun was setting, when the same kind of buzzing would come up and creep up behind my head. I tried to deal it in a number of ways. First thing I did, no cell phone before sleeping. Empty your mind. And that, well, that certainly did help. Avoid sugar, avoid caffeine. Try to give as much time to you before you drink them and you sleep. Ideally 4 to 6 hours. But eventually all of these things did feel like to me like they were not addressing the problem. They were just putting a band-aid on for when I was feeling miserable. This is what I learned from suffering from anxiety for a very long time. And that was simply a realization that our mind is separate from who we are. I realized that my mind is just like an organ. It's just like my hands, my skin. It has its own purpose. It takes input and it gives output. It is not really me, because how can it be me if I'm hearing it? If I can hear you, if I can observe you, then are you me or you something else? This is a very difficult realization because the only way to realize it, at least in this day and age, is to suffer so terribly from your mind that it breaks. It breaks in such a way that your mind itself cannot comprehend that it's causing such misery to itself. That was my realization as well, and I found that I was identifying so much with my mind, and it was still taking me on a roller coaster every time I woke up. The thing is that the thoughts, the background noise, the background chatter, we can't really control it. We can't really stop it. It is going to be there because that's the purpose of mind. It creates input and it gives output. It thinks about the future. It thinks about the past. Tries to make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes that we did. Our mistake, on the other hand, is when we start to identify with it. We start to think, if this is saying I woke up late, then I should be fearful of waking up late. So how did I deal with this identification, and how did I really overcome my anxiety? One of the things that actually helped me was meditation. Meditation is really common these days, but I guess I'm not really sure if many people understand it, what meditation really is, and I certainly was one of them. The goal of meditation is not to focus on your breath. The goal of meditation is not to focus on your body, because If your goal is to focus on your breath or your body, you will become really good at that, but that will not help you with meditation. The goal of meditation, actually, there is no goal. But if there was a goal, then it would be to go to your center, to the observer, to be the observer that looks to your mind, that looks to your body, that looks to the sounds outside and everywhere, and bask in that consciousness that flows through every living being. It is that consciousness that we want to experience, that flows within us. That is the real goal of meditation. I don't even think goal is the right word, because as soon as we hear the word goal, our minds start to kick in and they hijack the process. But for the sake of communication, that's what I say. These days, anxiety, I can still feel it, the chatter inside my head, but it's like they're in another room that I can look at them, hear them from a distance, and they don't affect me because I know that's not who I am, that I am separate. I am not my mind. I don't need to identify with it. And meditation has been one of the best tools, one of the best techniques, one of the best gifts that I have had to overcome it. Take care, enjoy, stay safe, and don't be a cause of your own misery.